Hello, everybody. Welcome back to GAA Glory for the Championship preview. We're going to go through all the fixtures this weekend, all the games. Going to preview them all and give you my predictions. Not only are we going to do the football championship, we're also going to look through the hurling championship as well. Bit of a different one. I know I probably do separate videos, but time is cut short, so we're going to do the preview. We're going to preview all the games this weekend. Hurling, we're going to throw up some of the teams that I found, that the starting 15 that I found up on the screen. I haven't found all, just shot it in there, so if I haven't found your teams, if I haven't found your county starting 15 for the upcoming match, not my fault. I tried. But yeah, obviously this has been recorded on a Saturday morning, so bear with me as well. But listen, we have a championship preview, and no point beating around the bush. Just before we do, please hit that subscribe button. Be much appreciated. The bigger we get, the more shows and bigger shows we can do, and hopefully bring on a few guests from other GA fan channels. We're going to get stuck into the Joe McDonagh Cup. Just going to throw it in there, just to start it off nice and swell. Offaly versus Carlow in Crow Park, 4:45 throw-in. It's going to be an interesting game. Two teams going head-to-head. Listen, fair play to these two teams for making it to the final. But to be brutally honest with you, and, I do look at some of the teams. I do try and look at some of the GA matches that come up. But I don't GA matches, hurling matches. But I'm just going to back Carlow with this one. Supposedly we played each other last time out, and Carlow beat them by a decent margin. So again, it's a final. Anything can happen. Anything can happen in a final. Let's not forget that. Which had me just quick prediction: Carlow to win the John McDonagh Cup. Then we're going to move into the football now. We're going to throw the football in. We're going to start off with the fourth game, which I actually can't find the fourth game. Oh yeah, Armagh Westmead. That's what I was actually looking for. I wasn't looking for. It was showing me Derry Monaghan. I didn't want to put that game up yet. So here we go. Armagh versus Westmead in the Athletic Grounds. I think it's a 4:45 throw-in. According to RTE, it is. But yeah, listen, again, no need to beat around the bush with this game either. I think Armagh are going to get the job done convincingly, you'd like to say, but you never know. But Armagh be looking to bounce back from that Ulster final defeat against Derry, so they'll be looking to take some sort of anger or frustrations out on a team, and I think Westmead will probably be that team. You just look at the starting 15 that Armagh have named on their bench as well, so let me just take this down. So Ian Rafferty in goal, James Morgan, Aaron McKay, Aidan Forker, Greg McCabe, Conor O'Neill, Charlie O'Borns, Ben Creeley, Kieran Mackin, Rory Grugan, Jason Duffy, Stephen Campbell, Andrew Morgan, Reen O'Neill, Aidan Nugent. Then you look at their bench. Shay McGill, Kieran Higgins, Barry McCambridge, Ross McQuillan, Callum Comiskey, Conor Mackin, Shane McPartlin, Conor Torby, Gemma Hall, Keane McConville, and Oisin Connolty. And then you look at the Westmead starting 15 that they've been named: Jason Daly, Jack Smith, Kevin McGuire, Jamie Gunnewood, James Dolan, Andy McCormick, David Lynch, Sam Duncan, Ray Connellan, Sam McCartan, Ronan O'Toole, Shannon Baker, Luke Loughlin, John Heslin, and Stephen Smith as well. Just to look back at the Armagh team, decent team: Reen O'Neill, Charlie O'Borns, Rory Grugan, Reen O'Neill, if I haven't said him, Aidan Nugent. it's a solid team. It's a solid team, to be fair. I mean, again, you'd expect Armagh to come out the group they're in, but I just think they're going to beat Meath. I just get just another quick prediction: Armagh to win against West Meath. Right. So the next game, Louth v Cork. Yeah. So Louth v Cork. In Park Calchin, 3 p.m. Throw in there as well. I mean, listen, you look at Louth be looking again to take some frustration out after the defeat against the Dubs in the Leinster final. Cork as well, looking to get a nice L win as well. But listen, I just think Cork have enough to beat this Louth team. Can Louth put it up to teams like Cork? It'd be interesting to see. It'd be nice to see. But to be again, I think Cork are going to beat Louth. I just Mickey Hart, he's experienced manager, so if anyone can do it, him and his team can. But you just don't know. You just don't know. I mean, again, let's throw it up. I haven't found the Cork starting 15, so please bear with me. But here's the Louth starting 15: James Calliff, Dermot Campbell, Peter Lynch, Donald McKenny, Leonard Gray, Niall Sharkey, Anthony Williamsy, Tommy Dornan, Connor Early, Conor McKeever, Kieran Downey, Conor Grimes, Paul Matthews, Samuel Roy, Craig Lennon. I mean, Conor Grimes there, decent player. Kieran Downey, Tommy, full forward line is solid. Half forward line is solid. It's a solid team. Again, as I said, I haven't found the Lord team, the Cork team. But so far, obviously, I think Hawley is starting. I think he's been he's captain, so nothing new there. But yeah, I mean, just a quick one. I think Cork are going to beat Louth probably by about 8 or 9 points. But listen, you never know. You never know. Can Mickey Hart's men have a fairy tale in the so-called group of death, if you want to call it, as well. Yeah, and then we have the last game on the Saturday, Derry versus Monaghan. I mean, 7 p.m. throw-in as well at Celtic Park. I mean, Derry coming into this as favourites. I mean, you have to give it to them. The controversy that's been all around. That's been all around Derry with their manager. They played the provincial final against Armagh and they beat them on penalties. Some would say maybe Derry got a bit unlucky because they were the better team on the day in parts. But listen, Derry favourites, and I'm going to back them. I mean, listen, can Monaghan turn up and give them a good game? If they just put their mind to it, I think they'd beat Tyrone as well in Ulster, the Ulster Championship. So I just think that I just can't see Monaghan doing that again. If they can, it'd be big, but two Ulster teams going head to head, similar kind of football. Obviously, Derry more fluid, but yeah, listen, I just think Derry are going to get the job done. I think they're going to beat Monaghan as well. I mean, look at this, the team Derry have put out. If I can get rid of this, yeah. So I have Odrin Lynch, Christopher McKaig, Owen McAvoy, Conor McCluskey, Conor Doherty, Garrett McKinless, Peter Padraig McGrogan, Conor Glass, decent player. Brendan Rodgers, another decent player. Niall Toner, Paul Cassidy, Ian Doherty, Benny Heron, Shane McLaughlin, Noel Loughlin. Then you look at their bench, solid enough. It's a solid team. You have to give it to Derry. The depth they have, how much the far they've came as well is unbelievable. So it's a solid team. Obviously, Conor Glass, Brendan Rodgers, they just run that midfield. Then here's the Monaghan. There's the full 26. But obviously, you can probably judge the starting 15 yourself. Rory Began, Ryan O'Toole, Kieran Duffy, who's captain, Ryan Wiley, Carl O'Connell, Conor Boyle, Conor McCarthy, Carl Gallagher, Killian Avell, Stephen O'Hanlon, Michael Bannigan, Desi Ward, Jack McCarran, Gary Mohan, Ryan McInnesby. Then obviously their bench, if you want to call it, Darren McDonald, Sean Jones, Conor McManus, he'll probably start, Shane Carey, Darren Hughes, Thomas McPhillips, Kevin Logran, Kieran Hughes, Dara McIlerney, Francie Hughes, and Colin Lennon there as well. Listen, as much as you could say it's a decent team, you look at the Derry team back, it's solid. They're probably gonna find a good winning streak from here, like I say. But yeah, listen, in my opinion, I just think Derry are gonna get the job done. I think they're gonna beat Monaghan, and it's just a matter of what margin. But yeah, Derry to beat Monaghan by about 5-6 points. That's my prediction. Or it could be 7. I could be wrong. I'm brutal at predictions. As well. But again, Monaghan, obviously, you could probably say they had a bit more rest than Derry, but keep the form. Then obviously we're looking into Sunday's game, which is the only Gaelic football match on a Sunday, if I want to say. Dublin versus Roscommon in Croke Park. I think it's been shown on GA Go. I think half of the games are being shown on GA Go as well. Listen, you look at Roscommon, knocked out Mayo. Mayo were probably poor that day when Roscommon beat them. Conditions weren't the best either. When you think back, that was probably a blessing in disguise for Mayo getting knocked out of Connacht early. Then obviously Roscommon went and got knocked out in the semis. Then it was a Galway Sligo Connacht final. You look at the team that Roscommon have put out. If I can see it, very small. Conor Carroll, Conor Hussey, Brian Stack, David Murray, Niall Daly, Owen McCormick, Dylan Ruan, Keith Doyle, Kieran Lennon, Kieran Morta, Enda Smith, Cian Mackin, Cian McKean, whatever that is, Ben O'Carroll, Donny Smith, and Dermot Morton and their bench, Colin Lavin, Robbie Dolan, Colin Walsh, Rudry Fallon, Niall Kilroy, Eddie Nolan, Cian Connolly, Conor Cox, Shane Cunnin, Conor Daly, Richard Hughes. It's a decent team. Conor Cox as well on the bench. It is a decent team. But do they have enough to beat the Dubs? This is not a biased prediction. I just don't think Roscommon have enough to beat the Dubs. Can they put it up to the Dubs? You'd say so. What did he go with? Did he go toe to toe? Did he go toe to toe? Did he go toe to toe with the Dubs? I feel like Louth probably tried to do that, and they didn't. Listen, the only way I think Roscommon could beat the Dubs if Dublin had a kind of similar game like they did against Kildare, which was poor. That's probably the only way I think. But again, you could say they're the fourth Division 1 team Dublin have faced this year, so it could be a bit of a could test the waters for Dublin. Well, again, here's the Dublin starting 15, solid as always. You have Stephen Cluxton, Darren Newcomb, David Bourne, Cian Murphy, James McCarthy, John Small, Lee Gannon, Brian Fenton, Tom Hiff, Brian Howard, Sean Bugler, Kieran Kilkenny, Paul Mannion, Conor Callahan, and Cormac Costello. Then their bench, David O'Halloran, Colin Doscale, Craig Diaz, Michael Fitzsimons returning, Sean McMahon, Greg McGeaney, can't even see that, Ross McGarry, Lorcan O'Dell, Dean Rock, Noel Squilly, and Paddy Small. Again, it's a decent bench. Obviously Brian Howard back in the squad. He was he didn't get much game time in the league, and even in the Leinster. I think he only played in the final. So he's back in the he's back in the squad, back in the starting 15, which is always nice to see because he's a quality player. You could say he's a bit of a sweeper sometimes, but obviously look at the position he seems to be playing, right half forward. So. But listen, the Dubs have the firepower to beat Roscommon, and I just think the strength they have coming off the bench and on the pitch, I think the Dubs are going to win. You could say probably by about 7 or 8 points. Could be more. People are saying Dublin could beat them by 15 points. So it's going to be an interesting. But yeah, the Dubs to beat the Rossies. Well, it's definitely going to be an interesting game. I mean, if Roscommon can put it up to the Dubs, it'd be an interesting one to see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Listen, we're just going to run through the other games fairly quick. Obviously, we have. Let's just throw this game first. Westmeath Antrim. I mean, you look at Westmeath, what a brilliant comeback they had against Wexford last week. They seemed to be down there at half time and came back and beat Wexford, which is a team. Wexford, I don't think anyone expected Westmeath to be Wexford, especially when you're a good bit ahead at half time. And yeah, I mean, I just think that who's the better side? Is it Antrim? Is it Westmeath? Westmeath probably be flying, but you would say I think Antrim, they probably will be Westmeath on this one. So yeah, I'm gonna back Westmeath to win, Antrim to win. Then obviously have the other game, Tip and Waterford. Two teams. It is going to be a fairly interesting game to be brutally honest. But again, I mean, let me just look it up here actually. Let me just throw it up here if I can. We obviously Tipperary drew against Limerick last week. Waterford lost against Cork, and Clare. So no. Yeah, no, they lost against Clare. I mean, I'm gonna back Tipperary to win on this one. I think Tip are gonna be. I think Tipperary are going to be. I think Tipperary are going to be Waterford. Hold on a sec. So, I mean, Waterford not having the greatest year, let's be honest. So yeah, Tipperary to be Waterford. That's my prediction. And then we have the other game, Chadwick Wexford Park, 2 p.m. throw-in as well. I mean, listen, Kilkenny played Dublin last week, beat them. Obviously, this is the Leinster Hurling Championship for anyone just wondering. Actually, I think back Westmeath might actually beat Antrim. But anyways, that's another one. Yeah, I mean, obviously they beat the Dubs last week by 27 points to 21, so 6-point win. Then they beat Kilkenny. High scoring game. That 8 goals scored, 8 goal thriller. As well. So yeah, I'm gonna back Kilkenny to win. I just don't think Wexford are having the greatest season at all. They're a bit all over the place. So yeah, I think Kilkenny are gonna beat Wexford. Then the other game. Dublin Galway in Croke Park. I think it's a 2 p.m. throw-in as well at Croker, the HQ. I mean, listen, Dublin, bit of a weird one. Obviously, they beat Wexford here, which was actually an interesting game. Dublin lost last week, so they'll be looking to bounce back. But I just think Galway are going to beat Dublin. I just think Galway have a bit more firepower, a bit more strength. Obviously, you look at Henry Shefflin, who's the coach, who's the manager. So yeah, I just think Galway are going to beat the Dubs. I just think Galway are going to beat the Dubs by about 4, 5, maybe 6 points. I hope Dublin win, but I just can't see it. I just cannot. Maybe if they beat Kilkenny, you'd say something different. Then the other game this weekend, the big one. I think this is a big game. I think it's probably the game of the weekend. If you're looking at a game to watch, this is the one. Limerick against Cork at the Gaelic grounds, 4 p.m. throw in. A point will keep Cork alive. Will it? Yeah, a point will keep Cork hopes up. You look at Limerick as well. They haven't been doing great themselves. Cork and Limerick both on 3 points in the table. They haven't been doing great. But especially Limerick, to the All-Ireland champions. They seem to be struggling to perform. They drew last week. I think it was against Tip, 25-25. So listen, you could say they have champions mentality. Obviously, Cork have a decent hurling team as well. You have to give it to them. Obviously, they lost last week against Clare by a point, so both teams looking to get a win in this one. But listen, I just think the Limerick, the champions kind of mentality will come in, and I think Limerick are going to beat them, especially because it's at the Gaelic grounds as well. So if it was in Páirc Uí Chaoimh, I'd probably edge it to Cork because it's the athletic grounds. Or the Gaelic grounds, sorry. I think Limerick are going to beat Cork. Well, I think it's going to be like a 3-4 point, and I think you could see it being tight for the remainder of the game. Cork will probably go ahead by about 4 points. Then Limerick will just click into gear again. So yeah, that's my predictions, anyways, for the weekend, the football and the hurling. Hope everybody enjoyed the video. Let us know in the comments your predictions. Let us know what you think of my predictions. They're not great, I understand. And please follow all our socials, links in the description as well. Thanks everybody for watching. I'll speak to you all in a bit. Enjoy the weekend. Let's do this.